another one of those heroes that you kind of need to be a specialist on it, I feel like, if you want to play it to its full extent of its power in the offlane role.
Roger just Fisher blocked everyone.
You really should prepare for battle.
Did he mean to do that? Was he typing?
I don't know.
I'm not sure what just happened there. I mean, you're definitely taking Fisher first anyway, but still. That's pretty funny. Wow, that's so many tips. FN is getting paid in Battle Pass for standing in. This is great. He clearly had a deal.
Maybe that's his fee.
He is a very generous man if that's his fee. I think... What was I going to say? Oh, the Phoenix. I think Phoenix is actually quite a bit easier than Enigma in that case. I think you're definitely going to be better if you're a Phoenix specialist. Certainly. Like, there are some Phoenix players that are just incredible. But I think in terms of just, like, using the ultimate is a lot easier on Phoenix than it is on Enigma. Especially because, like, if you're Enigma and they cancel your black hole, that's like one stun that they have to waste, and you can be like, okay, well, they canceled it, but they at least had to stun me. Phoenix, it's like, it takes a pretty dedicated series of attacks to at least bring down the egg, so it's likely that it's still going to help your team in some way during the engagement, unless it's like real bad.
I was kind of, I definitely agree that the ulti is the one that I feel like is a lot easier. I was thinking more in the laning stage and how well you're able to get out of that one. Particularly considering they're going to be going against an Undying as two strength heroes. I feel like this could be, it would probably be a tough lane for somebody that's already used to playing Phoenix, and we'll see if they're going to be able to do it. I guess the upside of it too is that Ursa is not the greatest at being able to chase them down. It's not something like a silencer, but we'll have to wait and see how well they do. Certainly, Ramses has been getting his offlane grind on.
He slayed it.
So cool.
Like, in lane, he was so good as the Enigma. He absolutely dominated. Now, the question is, will Ramses attempt to dive for a rune steal? Because he already has the Drow aura, so, you know, maybe he can afford to... No, he's not going to go for it. He's going to just wait for Fire Spirits.
I mean, if Slayer chases him right here, he's getting into position. Oh, wants to move in. Can he get it? Fingers?
No.
Not there.
He only got it. Too good, and that's going to cost you a lot of HP. Oh, 0 armor Phoenix. At least he has the +2 right now.
Oh, Roger's going to do the block off. I love this. This is the new thing. You block off their creeps, and then what happens is the creep wave meets underneath their tower. So now Slayer needs to try and block off this one, at least for a second, maybe?
He can't.
Or he's just going to punch Ramses back.
Yeah, he can body block it, yeah, but without being able to draw the aggro's, you're saying. I mean, he can still just hold it outside the tower like this.
Yeah, it's going to end up pushing. So yeah, it's going to push back the other direction, and now Dire should get a decent chunk of experience off of the second wave here.
Alright, I like it. So just the one Fisher is the perfect amount of time so that you can't even like re-aggro them back from under the tower. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I've been, I tried it out in one of my pubs, and I remember thinking, everybody should do this. This is amazing. And then I fed First Blood. And that's the part that they shouldn't have done. But these guys haven't done that yet. They're doing pretty good.
Well, he's going to get both range creeps still slaying away here, but I don't know. Feels like it's still going to be relatively okay for VP. It should settle in this area. They've blocked off the small camp too. So yeah, looking very good for bottom lane. Mid, Storm Spirit versus DK. I always feel like this matchup is just really good for the Storm Spirit team because they're just both going to farm, and I would rather have I would rather trade farm equally with the Storm Spirit on my team rather than a Dragon Knight, because, you know, that means Storm's having a good start, so life's good.
Yeah. I think the idea there is, like everybody always talks about, the solid stun for once you get to that mid game from the Dragon Knight, but it's sort of a question of like, all right, if you give them a free game to get to the mid game, is that really even worth it necessarily? Which, you know, obviously Storm was picked, I think, after the DK as well, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Storm was third pick overall. I'm crazy. It's going to be solo Invis picked up, and he's going to make his way over to the side to see if he can catch a courier, but he's a little bit late on it as it is already back towards the base. And bottom lane, we talked about it, but the Earthshaker and the Phoenix having a very good time for themselves, and Slayer underneath the tower you have to TP back and away. We'll get back to base, but it's going to be a long walk to the bottom lane.
Solo is all the way mid here, but can't really do anything. because he's a Nature's Prophet. So yeah, this will be a little bit of a wasted excursion for him. This top lane, I think, is going to get very interesting because with it being a Nature's Prophet and a Drow Ranger, Decrep has so much value here because like their only harass is all right clicks, so you can kind of constantly play aggressive and then be backed up by the Decrep and just walk away. And then I assume Ghostix just waiting until he is either probably level 5, I would say, when you have 3 points to Nether Blast, and save your mana for then, and then just absolutely destroy that top tower. Because Drow and Nature's Prophet are not going to be able to stop you.
Yeah, you can maybe get some creep pull things going on. Courier, not going to be brought down here either. And it looks like for the moment they're going to be able to get the range creep over to them sides as well. Going through that whole creep wave. And a nice start as pushed underneath the tower. Ursa not having a great time against this Phoenix. The Spirit's constantly pressuring him, and Roger is going to be able to get the full creep pull back up to the high ground.
Yeah, and they're going to need it with the other wave too. So I'm going to get a lot of harass on during that, but in the end, the fact that Ramses is getting this wave and some actual last hits, much needed. He is very far behind the Ursa for now.
Yeah.
Oh, General mid lane. Oh, the miss.
Miss uphill. The South? He's getting a lot of HP coming in from this one. All the trees are there and the neutral denies.
Damn.
No first blood this time.
Uphill miss. Roger's trying to save this regen for his storm. Oh, the question is Tsushima. Oh, I can't cancel it.
I'm getting a second win.
That would have been really nice. And now that's huge for no one. Coming back to lane full HP when the DK is going to be there. And even though he misses out on the deny, in a way, it actually still ends up hurting the DK pretty heavily because he's going to end up having probably his range creep denied here as well. Never mind.
About to be 5 minutes for our bounty runes. So Roger down bottom, he's deciding like who he's going to stop, which one he's going to go for. So he'll block off Sioma. So it means he'll steal this room, but Ursa will go for the other. So they'll just trade 1 for 1. Meanwhile, Lil looks like he'll still be able to get his own. I thought NP would be here to steal it, but
That should help.
Oh,
means we just go 2 for 2.
Odium pretty happy about that one. Able to get themselves theirs. Roger again going to be going for the creep pull. This is the new way you play Dota. I mean, it's kind of just what we saw
The new
earlier.
old way.
Yeah, right.
His experience is not very good though. Like for an Earth Shaker, he's not having a fun time. This is more like a 5 shaker than the 4 shaker.
Yeah, and they weren't even actually going to get all of them. One of those creeps decided to head back the other direction, and it's going to meet up here off to the sides. They actually aren't even going to be able to connect it with their other wave. Very strange stuff. Now, fortification makes the lane equilibrium even stranger. What the hell is going on? But it will probably eventually push, I think.
Yeah, but Ramses can't get the last hits under the tower right now. Sioma's still just bullying them. Oof, not good. I mean, this is the thing about the Earthshaker is that usually you pick it with like a lane dominator. Whereas Phoenix can't. Oh, actually, they might just get a kill here.
Oh, that's big. Tries to soul rip and run away, and is going to go down. First blood going to Ramsey.
Lane is saved.
Much needed. A late first blood.
Yeah. Their deny, kind of saving the first one mid. That is a level 6 now on our Ursa.
Yeah. Ramsey's just level 5 at the moment. I guess the fact that the Undying's been so far away from him whenever Ursa's getting the creep wave underneath the tower is basically solo XP. And mid lane, solo moving in. Slayer is there, and unfortunately, General ends up popping through with the Quelling Blade, but no stun leveled at level 6. Means he can't find the kill.
I am sure that Soul's just like, what? I live?
No one. They move back in. Solo's here. He shows up to try and get the kill onto General. So after the TP away, he can TP back in, and this is a DD Storm. Good Decrep coming in to save the day from Ghostic, but now they turn onto him, take him down as well. And with this Drow Aura, the right clicks coming from the tree.
Yeah,
actually
Lil
not that
is
much
still on the
extra
run
damage
here. And Lil has tangos, so if he ran into Soul, he'd probably be okay, but Lil has to turn back into dire territory.
Yeah, and he'll be able to escape there.
Runs into the creep wave. Hello.
Radiant's top tower
Bye.
is under attack.
I thought it wasn't so much extra damage, but I clicked on him. It was because of the Fade Bolt that he had lost so much on the Nature's Prophet there. So that's something else, a nice little piece to this draft from Odium, is at least some way to deal with all that bonus damage coming from the Drow. Still not amazing, but it's something.
Yeah, that rotation really hurts Odium, though. Like, your Pugna going mid and then dying means that he wasn't continuing to pressure this tower, which they almost had down to half HP. Now the lane's pushed back out, and more space for FN.
Well, Ramsey's looking like he wants to try and use that egg. And they are TPing in with Nature's Prophet. Decide to cancel it for the moment. Definitely feels like that's the goal for Ramsey's here. Pretty heavily telegraphed as well. They bring in Slayer. Ramsey's 13 seconds until he has Fire Spirits back up again. Now it looks like they are going to give up on that endeavor for the moment.
Interesting ward by the Radiant, the one that's like up inside the jungle watching where Storm farms, because they don't really have heroes that can punish it. Like, I don't think the Rubik Undying support duo is really the ones to go after a Storm Spirit. And Dragon Knight gonna have a hard time before it really has the items, so I guess on the one hand, it at least lets Dragon Knight know when he can push the tower safely,
right,
and know the Storm's not gonna like instantly zip on him, but I don't know how much information they're really getting, especially when they committed their second ward right there. So it just means they have no vision down bottom, which means they won't spot this rotation in from the Storm Spirit, and their Ursa's dead.
Big jump in. Roger there trying to finish it up, and no one going to be able to get the kill. Can't quite take down that Rubik, but as you said, doesn't spot the rotation, and they're able to find themselves a kill off the back of it. Maybe a chance for some fighting up in the top side now. As Odium trying to get this tier 1 tower, they will secure it, but the big wraparound is coming. Phoenix is here with Ramses. He's just going to be able to get that rune. Goes in for the dive, able to catch now onto Lil. Does not have his level 6 yet. Gonna just drop the supernova, and with the urn charge on him, Lil is just dead. I think. Oh, South
is he?
living. He's living. What a guy. Oh, great play.
Yeah, I definitely thought he was dead too. But he will survive, and that means he'll get himself a tome, so he'll be level 6 once that's delivered. And likewise for our Shaker, he's also passed the 4.5 mark, so he'll also be level 6.
And he didn't even switch over to defensive null field there on the Rubik.
Too good. Or he just forgot. Probably forgot. That's okay.
Possibility. Switch over now to the net worth after their win in game number 1. Virtus Pro off to 2,000 gold lead early on. Granted, this is with the Drow on their side, so maybe a little bit to be expected, but I feel like this is a better start than you could have anticipated with VP early on here.
Yeah, I think VP like holding their mid-tier 1 for so long too is pretty ridiculous. It should be forced down to this point. They have Dragon Knight ulti in 5 seconds, and they have a Pugna with level 4 Nether Blast here. They've already taken down the top tower, so then you rotate mid. This is pretty standard Pugna gameplay. They should be looking to close out all 3 towers in the next like 3 minutes.
Oh. Rubik stealing precision aura.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, ever since it became toggleable, the fact that you can get that is actually so sick. So DK gets the bonus 10 damage. Insane.
Yeah, I guess it's based off of Rubik's Agi, which isn't the greatest in the world. You need the Morphling and the Drow Ranger on the enemy team. That's how this works.
Dude, that's what I have said. Except, unfortunately, then you're like a, 500 HP Rubik, so don't do that. As cool as it would be.
Yeah. I like that idea. I mean, maybe just for certain moments. Then you switch back over afterwards. But then you have to steal attribute shift again. Yeah, you definitely shouldn't. All right,
It's a little complicated.
It's a bit too much. They take down that mid-tier 1 tower, though. And VP now moving in the bottom lane. Just going to walk up to Ghost Stick. Roger throws out the stuns. He doesn't feel like he's playing against an Ursa right now. He just, like, ran up to that Pugna.
That was a bit risque. It's alright. He needs to find a place to farm.
The Ursa?
No, the Earthshaker. Get this guy some space.
Okay.
Storm's top. Drow, I mean, Drow typically at this point in the game is just jungling everywhere, so I'd be looking to find a lane if you were the Earthshaker at this point. They're going to try and make a kill play bottom on Ghost Stick, though.
Yeah, that was a pretty sick dive in there, and was able to find him. Life Drain now. Echo Slam is available, but Roger going to save that. Just the Enchant Totem. They kill him off. 5-0. VP all over him.
Yeah, Smoke from Ursa's coming through with the Blink.
Now the Undying is there as well. They're going to throw out the Fissure, keeping alive FN for the moment. The slow is going to be there. The 3 points in Frost Airs. He's just walking away from him. General shows up, trying to take down Roger. Can they play their way out of this? Definitely not. But it looks like Roger will be able
to give him
make the walkway happen. Chasing forward, damage over time. It's not quite going to be there. They're threatening the TP from that Nature's Prophet as well. So they find themselves a kill on the Drow. Not bad.
Zombies were enough for the slow, unfortunately. And Solo just comes in. He's like, there's a lot of heroes bottom. I'm going to come through and look for a courier while I kill some neutrals.
Yeah.
Very greedy play. He's got a ward, though. He spots the Ursa. Now he's going to run and hide.
I'm not here anymore. And Ursa, oh, he's waiting for it. He wants to go for the... This was going to reveal the ward for sure. Yeah, they ping it out. They know that there's a ward in the area. I can't believe he went for that right click. What the hell? Alright, they steal the trees. Now Solo just trying to get out of here. He's eventually going to die. Kill the courier. It doesn't happen.
Interesting. It won't give away the ward, though, because it was the Treants. So it's okay.
Oh, you're right.
So the ward can survive.
Good call, Trent. You're so smart. What a guy.
Yeah, but if you were the support, you would have thought that, and you still would have found the ward.
That's true.
So it's okay. So you would have found the ward.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to tell these people.
I got you. Force Staff is done in 100 gold for FN here. I really like that, actually. The early Force Staff versus the Pugna and the Undying, or sorry, the Ursa. Smooth moves by the Drow. As Storm will come up.
It's so funny. Like, could you imagine as Slayer just gonna walk into everybody, does still have Tombstone down, turns it back around, and big kill there on to Solo.
Oh, Ramsey's thinking about it with the egg.
Yeah, a lot of damage on the Lil. He's gonna need to heal back up. Still not switching over to that offensive point. They do find the Fissure onto Slayer, but not quite able to catch Lil again. Hiding away from his former team. Roger not quite going to be in range as of yet. And
is he going to get away? I mean, they have the ward.
He's actually doing it. Oh, there's the TP in. All right. They figure it out.
Man, he's hitting hard, that Drow War. Holy. I did not think that was going to be a one-tap, but it's currently up to plus 44 damage.
What I was going to say is, could you imagine like a couple years ago, before Dragonlance was in the game, if you saw this build on the Drow Ranger?
Yeah, that's like, get me out.
I feel like it's so cool that Dota's evolved to this point where it's just like there's so much flexibility in the way you can build people.
God, Force Staff used to be like my favorite item, and now I play support and 100 mana is just like, whew, I don't know, man.
Lil is going to be found now. No way out of this one. He throws out some spirits first, slows down the attack speed, but this is still going to be a tier 1 tower taken early on. And Odium looking for ways back into this game. Maybe the Blink Ursa initiation onto somebody could be it, but everybody is down here for Virtus Pro.
They just keep applying so much pressure down bottom as Virtus Pro because they know that's where Odium want to play. Because you're this Pugna, and it's not really safe because you're up against the Storm Spirit to push this tier 2 in the mid lane. Like, how do you play in that little box when Storm can zip at you from either shrine? So you can't really. So you're forced to play up down through this lane, and VP are just putting constant aggression, constant vision down here because they know that's what they want to rotate into, to actually just Pugna down the other tier 1. And now there's just 5 heroes standing under a ward for a catapult wave. So they're going to smoke up.
Oh, yep. And I think that if you see that ward over there, all the heroes, and then they sort of walk together and then don't appear on the other ward.
Yeah, exactly.
Got an idea of what's happening.
Yeah, they're very aware of the smoke happening right now. Solo's going to try and... Yeah, he saw his train get blocked.
And now the runaway possibly doesn't have a TP for another 6 seconds, so he might be the one that pays the price. But you are losing your Nature's Prophet right now, and everybody else is farming. I think that VP feel okay about that.
Yeah, it's enough to stop the any chance of a Roche attempt. The Treants will keep scouting it out.
that is certainly how you would want to get back into this game, right? Go for the Roche, and then just try and get your team a little bit of a gold boost. I don't think it would really put you ahead or anything, but Sioma destroyed by no one.
Just a nice little back away there.
Ooh.
Oh, and the tip. All right. As far as I remember, no one, former teammate of Sioma as well, when he was on his Vega Squadron days there too. So maybe a little bit of friendly banter in the form of tips going on, or possibly they hate each other. Who's to say?
Who knows? Let's speculate. I'm going to go with vitriol hatred. Can't stand him. All right, well, Roger found his space. He has his Blink Dagger as he punches down that last creep and walks over to the side shop. And now we get a Blink Dagger reveal. He's only level 11, though. Would love to get that extra bit of damage there if he can find his way to 12. He is walking past Observer Ward, and it is scouted out here by the raiding team. They pinged the Shaker, so I think they're well aware of the Blink.
This, to me, feels like the big point in the draft for Virtus Pro as well. If you can find a couple of kills like Earthshaker, Echo Slam on top of somebody, and then Storm Spirit follows immediately, the game becomes so much easier at that point. General,
look at his play. He knew that he was through him here.
Oh, with the blink away though, Roger living. Yeah, that was a nice play, but I'm not sure if it's good enough. And now Roger is there with the fissure. The jump in comes from no one, but they're on top of this Pugna ward. The stun's going to be there as well. A nice little bit of damage comes out. The Force Stab also pushing the Storm Spirit a bit of a strange position, but with the egg dropped, almost going to be able to find that kill. They take down the Pugna, it looks like, and Solo living at the end of it all.
That's ridiculous. He's at 252 HP, took 251 damage from Nether Blast. Nailed it. The 1 HP survival. That branch in his inventory saved his life.
Man, he knows what he needs. That man a little bit.
Oh, and he's... Alright, so they're going to secure the top bounty rune. They're going to try and smoke in towards the Roche pit. Are we going for this?
Roger also not using Echo Slam in that fight. Like, they still have pretty much everything that they would want. Just the Nature's Prophet ultimate, which is about to be back up again. And they drop the Tombstone. The initiation comes. They blow up Roger. Solo also in a little bit of trouble as Lil's going to try and chase him down. Still hanging on to that ball lightning from the last fight.
So they use the Tombstone. Does that mean that they won't Roche, or no? They're still going to go for it.
Yeah. I guess having that vision there.
V-Tune's definitely pretty scary right now. Like, the Blink Basher, he can kill Storm, which would be massive. If they can just get a little bit lucky there. Maybe get a leading bash, or perhaps the Shadow Blade will initiate onto no one. And if he goes down, lose these Bloodstone charges, Odium are right back in this game. And they can play a little bit more aggressive now with his Aegis.
Now, Lil having this ball lightning also is, I think, a pretty underrated ability. Solo getting some deep wards, but they do ping it out.
How did he get spotted? What did he do?
I think he walked into vision of this ward up on the high ground by the radiant.
Oh, he went too far. Yeah, that's what it was. That's unfortunate. Alright, I'll get dewarded right away.
A little unfortunate, like you said, and dropping his Tranquil Boots right nearby so he can keep the regen that he doesn't need up. Nice.
They're after V-Tune.
Enraged turn, tries to fight. They're going to jump in here as well with no one, keeping Roger alive. That's just the Aegis. Does he get stunned right as the egg comes up? No. But they can take a second round of this if they want. He sprouted right from the get-go. No more Enrage, because he already used it in the last initiation, and there's a nice gust. Keep the dying from throwing out his Tombstone. No one gets the stun onto General, but the turnaround stun's going to be well. The Ursa jumps in, able to find the kill. Echo Slam didn't get that stun onto V-Tune, and so just able to kill the Storm Spirit. Back up in a second if he wants to TP to the Shrine and continue this fight. Virtus Pro potentially bait this out for a little while longer if they wanted to, and they're thinking about going back in. Roger keeping everybody there. The long initiation comes from no one, and they're going to instead decide to turn now on to this Pugna. He is going to fall. Slayer's going to fall. And back up to 12 Bloodstone charges. No one gets a consolation prize.
And Ramses is quietly godlike at 9-0-1 on the Phoenix.
2,600 gold on him right now.
Is he going? He must be going straight Shivas. It's a god tier Shivas game. The other possibility is Radiance.
I was wondering.
I really like Shivas. I think Shivas is just incredible.
Will spotted there. But Ramsey's gonna decide to back out again.
The reason I really love Shivas, downsides is that it's another thing to activate during Nether Ward, but upside is that it gives you a massive pool of vision for trying to find Tombstone. Because sometimes it can be just like hidden up on some high ground or whatever, and you just throw out the Shivas, and that's going to let everyone spot it instantly and just bring it down quickly for VP. Plus, there's quite a bit of just like right-click damage. So you don't slow down Ursa too much, though, so that is one argument kind of against it, whereas like Radiance would be more effective defensively versus Ursa than a Shiva's Guard actually would.
Yeah. That missed chance in there. He's going to be going for the BKB. Actually has a magic stick queued up right now for V-Tune. A little bit interesting. The 23-minute magic stick.
Hey man, sometimes you just need that wand, you know?
Yeah. Well, a 5-man smoke from Virtus Pro. They don't have Echo Slam. They do have just about everything else that they could need. And we'll see where they decide to go. Right now, getting set up to pressure the tier 1 tower in the mid lane. Shadowblade DK could be the initiation. Although he instead is going to head up towards the north, waiting for that rune. It was an invis rune spawning in the bottom lane. And it looks like Radiant are not going to decide to come and defend, and instead head up towards the top side where they're going to pressure on the tier 2 tower. 9-14, 8,000 gold lead right now for Virtus Pro. I think that it has slowed a little bit, the snowball. It feels like Odium right now are competitive.
Yeah, I think they're just waiting on items right now. Virtus Pro, so they just got the Shadowblade on the Drow and waiting for the Orc to be finished on no one. And they're obviously waiting for Ramses to decide what he's going to buy with this massive pool of gold as he ekes his way over to the side shop. I'm curious if the relic's about to pop out here, but no, he goes for the Lincolns.
Okay.
How boring.
it's
We'll see if he settles on it.
That's a good point. This guy, you get 3,800 gold. Start to think about those things. Bounty runes for everybody. I was wondering if something like a Lotus would be kind of good for him too, but looks like it's that other single target disable blocker. I guess the thing he has to worry about in this game is Dragonite stun and then eventually Abyssal Blade from V-Tune.
Yeah, I think why I like the Lincolns would be the just the Shadow Blades into stun from DK, but also the fact that you can apply it to your Storm Spirit, so they can just kind of use it that way, where they can just send in no one with that. Otherwise, like I kind of think a combination of Aether Lens plus any of those other two items like the Radiance or the Shivas would have been fine, but he's just looking to mostly, I'm assuming, help out no one with this build as opposed to himself.
Yeah, it's understandable. Well, Virtus Pro again picking up the next set of items in a couple of minutes, but they do have that Echo Slam now. Solo also going back for the Shadow Blade after the phase boots. And it looks like their decision is to try and come down here and see if they can pick off the Ursa, who they think is going to be farming up this wave. He's thinking about it. Not showing yet.
And the Fire Spirits will be spotted by them too, so.
Okay.
I mean, P2 knows they're there.
Yeah, he's got to be really careful.
He was trying to bait out like an Echo Slam or something there, I guess. I'm not sure.
Ramsey's like, well, if you're not going to show up and fight, I'm just going to punch this.
Dyer's structures are fortified.
That's a bold play by Ramsey. He was actually so close.
Fortified.
So then, Atos is there. They find themselves one Force Staff away, though, keeping that draw alive. A Shadow Amulet afterwards. I'd rather.
Man, Solo is the poorest Prophet support I've ever seen. He has just been taking all of the support items for the team. I mean, you can look and it shows on Roger, too. I don't think he's had to buy anything. Just some dust for himself.
DK. Envision right there of this Sentry Ward that's already down, but Ghost Stick has already been killed. Looks like they know what's happening. Dust is out. They have vision of him. Chase forward. Eul Scepter lift up. Roger does still have Echo as well as a Fissure in 4 seconds if they can wait that long. Stun was actually used and dodged by no one as well, and now They don't have any means to control the Storm Spirit as General walks in. It could be a big something into position, but they're already tearing through him. Roger down to very low HP. They killed off the Phoenix already.
Oh, uh-oh. How did he die? They had already used stun. Oh, the Stolen Fisher.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, so he didn't see that one coming. I'm guessing he was just like waiting out those last couple stuns. And just didn't expect the Stolen Fisher. But that's a massive kill. And that was, unfortunately, went to the Undying.
Yeah.
I think that's probably one of the last heroes they would have won that gold on. Sioma will loftily eye a Scythe of Vice for himself, but not sure if that's going to happen, even with 900 gold from one kill.
That's kind of nuts. Fissure down, Sentry Ward there as well. They find themselves another one. Roger trying to create a little bit of separation, but it's not going to come in time. The secondary Fissure thrown out by Lil. And suddenly, Virtus Pro not looking so immortal. No one is also moving very greedily across the mid lane right there. And
especially with the Stolen Fisher and an Arcane Rune here.
Oh, no one. He's waiting. He's hoping that Lil stops around this area. Waiting for it. Fissure comes out there, and now they've got him with the Orchid. Nice little jump in, and Lil eventually going to be killed off.
Yep. No potential assistance there or anything. Extremely late Roche spawn. 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, VP are still dominating this area, and it's 11k net worth lead. I mean, we're talking about Odium being able to find like some avenues back into this game. It's still a really huge lead for Virtus Pro.
I mean, you think about how this game was supposed to go for Odium and the way they took down that top tier one and then moved right into that mid tier one, and then the game was just over.
Right.
Virtus Pro warded up that whole area of the map, and they said, you will not push into this tower, and that completely destroyed all their plans. They kept just running into the brick wall of bottom lane. Maybe needed to try and focus their efforts elsewhere, try and get a better control over the Roche Pit, or maybe even force something onto the tier 2 top, but there's so much catch on the dire side between the Shaker, the Prophet, and the Phoenix that you can't just play this like commando Pugna guerrilla warfare style, running through the trees, stop and pushing that tower. So like that's one of the big things about Pugna too that you'll look is that teams will at least before the hero was popular, the main complaint was that you can just never pick Pugna if they have too much catch, because the second he's like stunned once, he's just so useless in a fight, and then he also can't do his little ratting shenanigans.
Yeah, good answer there with the Storm Spirit always being that threat. And I mean, also just the Earthshaker. It's those two combined together. Like normally it'd be Nathan Trotham. He's not really an issue in this game because he has like nothing. But I guess Wrath of Nature, yeah, a little.
I mean, he can just all he has to do is sprout. All he has to do is like walk next to a Pugna, and that's enough to kind of ruin him, right? Because it just gives vision, and everyone else will show up. And Pugna not exactly like Pugna has a Quelling Blade. That's how annoying Nature's Prophet is.
Yeah. Well, feels like they're going to need to outplay them in these fights, and the Roche fight going to be the next one that happens, most likely, between these two squads. Still 35 seconds until it's going to respawn. As mentioned, one of the longer respawn times, and they're keeping very diligent vision up in this area, Virtus Pro. Like summoning treants, they have the wards down also on top of the trees. Ghostic does get the D ward right there, as he has the Quelling Blade, and I think that there was a gem also on Slayer for a little while, but now it's been switched over to the Rubik. They're going to try and go for the D ward.
Sioma just drops a tombstone.
Okay. I mean, okay.
Just he drags all these creeps over to here and just drops a tombstone.
Intentional?
I mean, Roche will spawn. He's gonna get a little bit of usage out of it. It's just kind of comical.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, especially.
Oh,
like,
all right, we're in.
It's about to go down, and so they won't have tombstone for the fight now. I mean,
he is dead, tombstone. And he's got the talent at least.
There you go. Go kill yourself. General pops the BKB, trying to chase. He's going to be able to find one here at Storm Spirit dead with V-Tune on top of him. No one just didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, Sioma hits him with that tip right back. Took a while, but he finally got his tip revenge.
Yep. They have the
buyback from that one.
So Supernova away from the Roche Pit. They're all spread up right now on Virtus Pro, and the Fissure is actually going to block Earthshaker here into the trees. So with everybody split up, although the Storm Spirit jumps back in, he actually doesn't find Slayer.
Yeah, and he's not over helping with Ghost Stick, but he will still die.
have no reason to lie about such things.
Pressure coming as while that fight was happening, top tier 2 tower, tier 3 tower rather, goes down.
Oh wow,
through the precision
sucks.
aura.
You just lose your tier 3, man. Very well played there by FN. Well, that's frustrating.
I don't even know if FN knew it was happening. He probably did.
Well, they took both towers. That whole wave took the tier 2 and the tier 3.
Yeah.
That is so brutal. And then you get Roche.
Just cheese.
You're just trying to like make a play and get Roche, get back in the game, and the creeps screw you. Even though you like almost kind of won that fight, you forced the buyback on the Storm. He's down to 10 Bloodstone charges, but doesn't matter anymore.
Now the game becomes so much harder now, and the other thing too is that, like, if you're VP, you don't even necessarily have to force this here. You can sit back, finish off the rest of the shrines now. Like, it makes the game so much easier to play for them. Can control the map. I mean, it's probably something where they might not want to like wait.
Oh my god, this scan, unbelievable.
All right, General's gonna TP out of there.
Okay, so they see him attack this creep wave around here. And so the question is, does he walk this way, or does he go this way up to the shop to like TP home or whatever? They predict right. They scan here in that little area, actually see him, and then that zip magically hits. That was unbelievable. They didn't even have detection at the time. Then they came in and dropped it after with the Nature's Prophet, but still. Whew, Virtus Pro. These guys are good. It's fun seeing them in a qualifier again.
Yeah, it's been a while, right? And like, I think that we're going to be seeing more and more of them like have to, I don't know, all the strategies. Lil going to be punished here as no one finds him, kills him off. There is kind of a battle breaking out as well, and enraged Ursa lifted up by the Yule Scepter, and V-Tune will just get decrept and run away from him there. Nemesis is so stacked up right now.
Under attack. And what an attack it
Throws out. And the tower going to be assaulted, going to be punished, going to be taken down. They go with the glyph. Meanwhile, on the top side, Solo ready to split push as soon as this fight breaks out. Oh, they do scan it out though. They realize that that's where he's going to be.
The seeds of fortune.
Man, Trent, it is feeling pretty good for Virtus Pro right here in game number 2.
Yeah, they're even backing away here despite having the Aegis still in the Storm Spirit and a dead Rubik for a few more seconds. Everyone else just a little low on resources and very rich on gold.
Yeah. 4,400 on the Phoenix right now, on top of Lincoln's, Yule's, and Spirit Vessel.
I absolutely love this Drow build as well. I think like the Force Staff into the Hurricane Pike at first was good. It's like a combination of just keeping yourself alive as well as boosting your team, because now he's going for a Ghost Scepter, which is very good versus the Dragonite as well as the Ursa, and then he'll build that into an E-Blade to then boost up all of his team's damage. And when you're working with all these ranged heroes, it just all works so well together.
So here's the question, with all the activatables, do you think that he's going to go for the cooldown reduction, or do you think he's going to go for precision aura damage?
Oh, that is tempting. 50 CDR is a lot. I'd probably still go with the precision because of my Storm Spirit. All in for no one, you know.
That's fair.
Oh, now we're talking. Ramses goes to the dive cast. I like that with Yules. And when you can play kind of aggressive with the Lincolns.
Yeah.
Plus, it's way more fun than stun duration.
Oh,
even though most Phoenixes seem to be going stun duration lately.
Throw the Lincolns on my no one. He is down to very low HP. Still a minute and a bit left on this Aegis. They'd love to be able to keep it if they can till the very end. Meanwhile, topside, they're still going to be able to take down the range barracks. Nature's Prophet being annoying. The Soul Rip actually finds the kill on the Aegis there. And no one just going to back out. Showing the strength of that Nether Ward. I think that that's what did the majority of that damage to him.
Yeah, they're trying to find the ward that provided the vision, I think, because they're pinging. They thought it was down here, but they'll see it's up here. At least I thought they would. What do they do with the gem? Yeah, it's on Ramses. Okay, he fire spirited the high ground, but he didn't actually check it. Guess he wasn't close enough. Anyway, they will bring down the Nature's Prophet, but they're going to pay for it. The quick zip from no one.
Ghost Stick dead now for 58 seconds. It's tempting to try and make something else happen with no Pugna Ward around, but I think that you can just kind of play it more safe if you want to on VP. Now, this is a major qualifier after all, and you just play the game very safely and sort of dodge away from fights at this point. You can probably just clean it up fairly easily.
Yeah, there's a pressure on the Radiant side to actually just leave the base too. So you just wait for that and punish, because again, your catch is ridiculous. So there's no point in you taking the fight high ground unless you are very far stacked with like Aegis and Cheese.
General and Lil walking forward. Storm Spirit Hastron still working with it, and they're gonna jump in, find Lil, blow him up. That's 2 dead now. Pugna's gonna be back up shortly. General Shadowbladed. They don't have buyback on the Rubik. Stun. I mean, they can throw it out if they want to, but the Lincolns is still there on the no one, and General's gonna pop his dragon form for nothing.
And Solo was forcing them back by fake TPing near the other racks. He's gonna go for the meteor hammer from the trees. Now run! You destroyed the tree, Solo! No! Oh my god!
All right. Killed the trees with the meteor hammer, and gonna be able to get the TP out of there somehow. Still, that's fine.
It works a little better when you're Area Protector. You know, you can stand a bit closer.
Yeah. I mean, he got it, right? This is actually, I'm just gonna heal back up. It literally did nothing. Okay.
It put the threat into them.
Yeah, they're afraid now.
Oh, he's doing it mid.
Go for it, the meteor hammer. Meanwhile, down here bottom, they found themselves the Dragon Knight. Gonna kill him off. BKB is out from no one. Has that level 25. They're gonna buy back now on the Dragon Knight. Meanwhile, the root is going to be there as well. Storm Spirit, nowhere left to go for the moment. The lift up following there. They get the stun. It's a good bit of damage, but is that the E-Blade usage coming out from the Drow to save her Storm Spirit?
Hell yeah. FN.
Top barracks are under attack.
It's a nice play. Long dive.
I have to say, FN was, he was looking a little rough yesterday in the other phase of this qualifier.
Yeah.
You know, but it feels like they're starting to get him on stuff that's a lot more comfortable. Just playing his kind of typical carry heroes.
I think that it does sort of show an avenue to beat VP though, which is to try and, at least in this iteration, shut down no one. I think it feels like they're definitely building around no one being that late game carry, and if you can make his game rough early on, then I feel like it might be an easier time for him.
It's so hard to do though because they always 10th pick for him though.
Yeah.
So, or like 9th pick, you have to.
I guess
in this game they didn't necessarily have to, but just like his pick's always going to be so safeguarded.
Yeah. Oh, Arcane and the DD. Is there a better combination late game? I don't think so.
Well, regen's pretty nice.
I guess that's true too.
He still uses quite a bit of mana. But you always get hit, so probably not. This looks pretty good.
Alright, where's he gonna zip to? Who's he going on? You know he's ready to go.
It makes the overload golden when you have that thing. That's pretty funny.
Alright, goes in, making some space, does literally nothing, and runs away. Okay, never mind. The 2 runes, not gonna give him anything yet. He will have Arcane now. And bottom?
Radiant's bottom barracks.
Close down V-Tune for a second. They take down the barracks. Slow destruction and siege. They are not having the lockdown that they need. Shocking is the call from Roger. Wow. They just kill them off in front of their teammates. Gets the BKB. And he's just going to walk away yet again. No one is actually on fairly low HP right now, but the Force Staff coming from the Drow Ranger, keeping him alive on the other side of it. Then you take down Solo, all the Treants.
That was a bit into the bold maneuver. I mean, I know his job is to like split up Odium, but that one was, you know, he was out of there. It cost a buyback on the Ursa though.
Where's the party?
This is again, it's just like the slow destruction. It feels like it's been kind of a rapid drop off, but it's also been steady throughout the game. It's up to 33,000 net worth lead.
They're gonna find Roche now though, so
yeah,
it should be the end of it. How much damage are we up to now? 96 from the Drow.
That's pretty good. Do you think 20% extra over the cooldown reduction?
Yeah, let's go. I don't know. The cooldown reduction is pretty crazy with E-Blade. Like a 10-second E-Blade.
Yeah. And I mean, even like, you know, BKB is pretty huge. 35 seconds. Like, you can get two of those off in a fight.
The way I look at it, well, I hope not. It's a long fight.
Oh, okay. General, stun, trying to steal it. No one gets Aegis. Okay. That's not terrible. No one though is going to start to tear them apart, and Pugna is going to drop. They bop back on the Phoenix as well. Odium, they made a pretty good play there for themselves.
He just walks it, steals it. Meanwhile, Solo's back in the middle. On the run again here. Dust has already been used, but there's a gem on the earth, so run. V2 won't chase though. Well, I don't know if stealing the Aegis, the refresher share and the cheese will be enough, but it was pretty funny.
I mean, who's really the best one for it here? Is it Dragon Knight just to refresh the ulti, I guess?
Yeah, they don't really have a great team for it. I say you just give it to Undying because YOLO and, you know, drop down 3 tombstones.
Okay.
I feel like you've lost anyway. You might as well have some fun.
You still just don't have an answer for no one at all. Like, they need to throw all of the single target disables that they've got onto him.
Yeah, no, it's 100% DK. You ulti, stun, and then you can either instantly pop it again to stun no one and hope that's enough time to kill him with the Ursa, or you just save it for the next fight so you can try and keep defending.
Okay. Maybe you offer it up to the Phoenix and say, just leave me alone for a little while. It's like tribute, you know?
That's a solid attempt.
Yeah.
The Treants will head top, the rest of the Dire will head mid. There's our attempt bash here. They got the drow. That's all that damage.
That's not terrible. BKB was used for that one. Now they do have another blink up in a little bit. So they're able to hold off for the moment. And that's 80 seconds with no drow, no buyback. Is the Aegis going to be enough to make no one comfortable just running in there? And he's sticking around this area looking to see if he can just sort of split up the team. Find a pick off. And gets the fissure thrown out. Pops the BKB. I'm gonna waltz away. God, you just have to put such fear.
I'm into the 50% CDR after watching these fights now. We're going for that. Yeah. I'm going to go with the fact that the damage is kind of irrelevant because Phoenix can't really use it because you're just looking to ult, and the Drow Ranger has to hide half the time anyway in order to like keep it up. So, yeah, we're going to go with the CDR so that she can just keep saving no one.
Okay. I mean, that's
the play.
It herself, right? Like, if you're able to keep yourself
she doesn't
alive.
matter.
No, for the damage.
Yeah, right.
That's literally the only reason is because of the damage. Like, it feels like if you get any of it really coming out, then it's going to be worth it to keep her alive. I don't know. 46 minutes, 31,000 net worth lead. It's still not feeling like anything has changed at all for Odium as far as
Odium are making them work for it though.
Yeah.
It's slightly risky. A little wrong order there coming up from Lil. Had he fade bolted first, then that was a dead Phoenix.
God, no one just like jumps in, threatens. If you make one wrong play when the Storm Spirit jumps you, as far as your item usage, you're gonna die. And actually, he needs to be a little bit careful himself. They walk forward, get the lift back. A good bit of damage out. V-Tune finds it, burns through the Aegis. Can they find any more? Roger went for the jump in. V-Tune was able to get the blink away. They drop the Supernova. And no one. I'm gonna try and pummel this tower, but they haven't. There's stun that's gonna come out in a second from the Dragon Knight. Shadowblade, chase. Meanwhile, Nature's Prophet down to very low HP. They get the lift up. They find the kill. They take him down again.
That has not been working. They haven't found their initiation yet from BP. Like, when's the last time we saw an Echo Slam? Roger has just been waiting and waiting and waiting, but can't seem to find that right moment.
I mean, again, I don't think anything has changed as far as their win probability, but like,
well, we should ask.
Close it out. Okay, good call. Let's see.
And it looks like it was 100%. It looks like it was lower down before.
All right.
Am I crazy? Like, you see where we are now? It looks like it was like right at the peak. It looks like it said 100%.
I think you're right. And then it's dropped down since then. That was one.
Now they are the 1%.
Okay.
I would rather be the other 1% than this 1% though.
Isn't that the Funnick meme? Isn't that the thing, or is that the Moonlord thing? I don't remember.
I think he's a little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah, Funnick's used to being this kind of 1%.
Okay. Fair enough. We have those 25s yet? We almost got one on Phoenix. Hit count, max health, sunray damage. The Aegis is gone. 2 minutes roughly until Roche is capable of respawning.
They actually still have the Aegis or the cheese and the refresher share too.
Yeah.
On general, hasn't had to pop it yet. All right,
Oh,
Solo needs to get a grip, dude.
Yeah, what's going on?
He is feeding really hard. I don't know. He keeps trying to do these cheeky little plays up there, but now he's buying back. He's going again.
I don't know. I don't even know. They're going to try. This is the bait. It was all an elaborate ploy to make sure that you could get there in position to find a kill. The Echo Slam comes out as well. They're still living on that Pugna for a moment. They blow up the Storm Spirit. 70 seconds on the sideline. FN, they managed to find the stun there. Lil was stealing Electric Vortex as well, or rather Ball Lightning, and can they get the vision on him in time? It doesn't quite look like it. Catching up slow. There it is. Fusel Blade down. And with the gem, they were able to catch him. So 4 dead on Virtus Pro. Things are actually starting to look a little bit tenuous now.
They are very good at choosing and getting their targets right now from the side of Odium. Very impressive. Unfortunately, like, I get what Solo just did. He bought back, he tried to put the pressure on, and he distracted them a little bit, but the Pugna still lived. And the Ursa was able to not only kill Nature's Prophet, but then help turn and kill the Storm Spirit as well. And he just got a 6x kill streak off no one. So V-Tune, very wealthy at the moment, starting to spend some of that gold towards the Abyssal Blade. I think he has it, actually. Uh-oh.
All right. So we've got the 1.75 second Dragon Tail, a 5-second stun on a 9-second cooldown. I mean, look at the net worth is one thing, but you've got the difference in experience is actually in the favor of Odium now, and everybody is getting close to the level 25 talents. Also, Rubik has an Aghanim Scepter. I feel like VP are actually somewhat close to throwing away this game.
Dude, they almost have megas though. Like, this team can't handle megas. This raiding team cannot handle megas. They will lose to megas. I refuse to believe. I mean, they can maybe get the Mjolnir going for general.
What about just like a rundown mid or something, though? Isn't that a possibility?
It's definitely a possibility, but I would say 4% from Dota Plus would be okay. It's gone down to up to 9% now. I might call 9% a bit generous.
Okay. One more fight like that? How about that? How about
if you get like 5-man wiped or something, yeah, there's definitely some issues.
I guess that's the thing to me, is that I feel like Virtus Pro right now still are certainly in the lead. They're capable of like taking this game easy, but Odium have some ways to actually win the fights now. It's clearly not as hard as it was earlier. Like, you've got this Ball Lightning on Rubik that's stolen for a while longer, and Aghanim Scepter. I don't know. There's some shenanigans happening in this game, Trent.
Here I am. Let the fun begin.
Oh, Virtus Pro, I'm sure, are just gonna give it a little bit more respect here. Another very fast Roche bomb. We got fast and extremely long, one or the other. I think last time it was instantaneous. This one was about 7 seconds, and it's already back up.
I guess the other thing that I should mention is there was only the buyback on the Nature's Prophet, so everybody still has that. That's the other big difference maker.
At the same time, though, it's pretty rare to get 4-man wipe in this situation without using buybacks on the Radiant side, and they have to spend any, which is really weird.
Yeah.
As they will scout out the Roche at the moment. Look at this fan out here by Solo. Excellent scouting. This looks like someone playing like the Arteezy Naga, where he just like has that crazy fast like instant spam out to all 3 lanes.
Yeah.
Solo basically doing that. Man, how did he even do this? Like patrol mode. This guy a StarCraft player or something? What is this?
I think it's just like the tab, and then you like click on one, a couple of them, and then you just keep sending them. It's really cool seeing all that
it
stuff.
just looked very impressive.
Yeah, like a fan.
Yeah. All right, so this time it is not snagged away. Who's got everything? We have the refresher shard on Roger. He's looking to close this one out finally. Cheese on the Drow Ranger. See if she can actually survive long enough to use it. Did go for the 50% CDR. So that E-Blade, going to be watching for that. Only 6-second downtime. No one in.
They just dropped the refresher started on the ground. They picked it up on the Rubik now. No one jumps in, trying to take down one. Can they kill him off? A nice fissure comes out as well. No one starting to lay into and kill off.
Nice
Ghost
egg.
Stick. The Pugna still living for the second. A good supernova to Echo Slam to follow it up. Double Echo Slam to lift up though. It didn't do any damage because he ended up popping his Aeon Disc. And V2 turns, able to find one. General, can he find the secondary stun? He gets him! Storm Spirit caught, killed off twice. No more Aegis. They kill off the barracks.
Yes, the
And
plan
this is
worked,
Mega
though.
Creeps.
Yes, that was all executed the way VP wanted. I mean, you want as few deaths as possible. I think 3 is actually pretty good. They basically had that super deep dive from Ramses. He gets the egg off, stuns 2, comes back for the next dive, and then they back that up with the Echo Slam from Roger. Solo's buyback is a bit of an issue, just because he obviously used it in the previous one to try and get the Minorex last time, but they're going for the all-out down mid. Might be one of their only opportunities here for the Radiant, and they've already used the buyback now on the Undying and the Pugna. Rubik has no gold, and DK has no gold too here. So, dire situation right now for Odium as they go all in on middle.
And they are going to try and just pressure down this lane. Storm Spirit not up to kill off the creep wave. They've caught themselves. The Phoenix does still have they'll dive.
But they're in the Radiant base.
For the moment.
FN is a DD
Here are
rune.
4 towers. They're trying to kill it off in time. FN does so much damage. They're going to pop the glyph. Can they do this in time? I don't think so. Odium wanting to make it happen, but the big fissure comes out. Roger jumps in. They're all controlled while they take down
the Radiant throne.
There was never a chance. Can they do it? I don't think so. Lil wanting to stop it. It's not happening. And F and it finishing. And then immediately DC's on Ramses. They did it.
Okay, Odium. That was a pretty shocking ending there. They almost had it. But, yeah.